Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast. I am excited. This is a bonus episode for you all today. And we're doing a birthday reflection because I don't want to do like a full year reflection. I am sitting here wanting to more share with you a reflection on right now, this month, this week, this day, as well as go a little further back as well into like my actual story and who I was and what has gotten me to this point of why I'm feeling the way I am today, what I'm having to work through in real time. And it's not easy, but it's also been a lot of fun, like getting to explore and dive into really everything that has been going on. So, to start off, I kind of want to give you a little backstory on this month because if you've heard any of my other episodes that were prior to this, I've talked a lot about how I have been in this, I don't even know what I want to call it, this chapter of this part of my journey where I all of a sudden have all this space that I have never had before. I am making money again and about the same, actually, if not more than what I was making in corporate. But there is this space right now happening where I can actually have time to myself. I have time with my husband, my time with my pups, time with my families, the community that's around me, again, that I have not had in years. And I will really say it goes all the way back to middle school. And that's kind of the reflection that I wanted to give and share with you today is a little of my backstory on who I was back at like 12, 13 years old and what happened to kind of create this belief, the thoughts that run through my head, I guess you could say, that I am currently experiencing and going through. So, back when I was about 12, 13 years old, that's middle school time. So, probably around my seventh grade year. And I can almost pinpoint it to like some extent. I mean, I remember that time period. I was doing 4 or 5 days a week. I think that was about the time period I was doing 5 days a week of gymnastics. I was in public school. I was in the concert band also as well. I was part of Beta Club and I volunteered. It sounds like a busy schedule. And prior to that, like starting around that fifth, sixth grade time frame is when I started to pick up and do more. But it really was around the seventh grade time, and I can't even like forget two things that always happened around that time period. One, my she was social media slash my home base teacher in seventh grade, and she actually was the same person I had in eighth grade. Called me Miss President. It was always funny. And then another individual that was at the school, and this was all in my middle school. Another individual always said that I was like going to be the Olympic gymnast. So they would always ask me, and I never wanted to be president. I never wanted to be in the Olympics. Like all those things were never things I ever dreamed of. It was just always interesting to hear people like talk to me and say those things to me. And now, when I look back at that time frame, though, that was the time I did go from about 3 days a week of gymnastics to five. I had jumped into concert band, I had jumped into Beta Club, and I was constantly in this going aspect where, in reality, what I say is that kind of was that year where I went from being in my childhood to stepping away and living, I don't want to say a different life, but stepping into a different way of living as a child because it wasn't quite the same fun and play that you typically hear. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed everything I was doing, but it was not like the hobbies. It wasn't the fun of just going outside and just playing for the heck of it and playing with a group of friends and just kicking around a soccer ball or just going on a playground or just going to do X, Y, and Z. I didn't do that per se because my weeks were full. They were busy. It's funny, I use full now because that's 2 episodes back. If you listen to that one, I'm not busy anymore, I'm full. But I was constantly in this quote unquote busy space. And when I now have been reflecting back, one, I don't have any regrets, no regrets at all for kind of stepping into this different life. But what happened is also at the same time is this is when I was starting to be called the adult child. So I went from like living my childhood to the adult child life. And I would have family friends talk about how I was an adult child. My own parents would talk about just how mature I was for my age. And I think many of us girls at that time always, got some comments that we were more mature, especially compared to usually the boys. And it was incredible to hear that. And I think that was even more a pivotal reason for why I stepped away from living the childhood of fun and play and stepping into more structured living and organized. And anyone who's known me the last 15 years of my life knows that I'm very organized. I am very strategic. I am very, like, I know exactly what's going to happen the next 24 hours, week, months, usually. I am very different than I was before, now much more in flow. But during that time, I thrived off of being called the adult child. And that's how I lived my life. And it was a thriving. It also was this expectation almost that was being set for me that I was mature, and nothing against anyone who ever told me that. It's just internally, because I was being called, I was like, oh, so now I have to act a certain way. Now I have to live a certain way. Now I can't just go and have the fun that everyone else is having. And that's now where we get to today, May 18th of 2025. I am officially 28 years old. I know to some of you that's really young, and to others of you, you might be like, oh, wow, like that's incredible. Maybe I'm even a little old to you if you're listening in. But I struggle to have fun. I struggle to go play. I struggle to allow myself to just fully relax and enjoy the present moment and not be working and not be checking off tasks on my to-do list or things on my calendar. And it's very hard to break that. And I've talked about this on previous episodes before, but even now that I have space, I actually have time and energy on my hands to be able to do this. I'm like, oh, but can I really? Should I? But I have all these other things to do. And again, it kind of goes back to the episode 2 episodes ago where I was talking about the busy and how I'm really, really good at making busy work for myself. I'm really good at even making like at home busy work. Like, what are the chores I need to do and the things that need to get done around the house or for the pups, versus just sitting and being, going and having fun, going on a hike. The things I love to do, I still like battle mentally in my head. And so this has been a month of challenge and almost like a release, though, as I'm talking about how difficult all this stuff is. And I've actually been allowing myself to relax. I got a massage last week. What did we do? We went to the farmer's market, and then we went and did some shopping. I haven't shopped, and I can't even tell you the last time I really truly shopped for myself or my husband. We went and did that. If you're, again, on video, I have a new necklace on. It's moonstone. It's beautiful. Handmade here in North Carolina by a couple. I'm obsessed with it. I went and did that. We've been watching movies. I finally got my husband to watch Wicked. We're watching Harry Potter off and on now too. Like, these things that I was so against, or like if we went and did anything, I was constantly on my phone checking emails, or when we got home immediately, I would give myself a hard time and sit down and start working and checking things off the to-do list. I didn't. I stepped away from work for the weekend so we could celebrate my birthday, because I could. I had the time. I had the space. My husband was off. Why wouldn't I do those things? It's because it was ingrained in me for so long that that's not productive. At the end of the day, that's not a good day then, but it is. You have to give yourself the time and the space to have fun, play, and most importantly, like, actually celebrate. I think that's like the two things that it's part of who I am. And I think just what makes me me in my, if you want to talk about Enneagram 3, if you want to talk about human design, the generator side of me, profile 4-6, all these things interwoven, is I struggle to slow down, which I'm doing better about. And I struggle to stop and celebrate because I'm just ready to move on to the next thing. So getting to stop and celebrate my birthday, like, I've been joking, it's my birthday month. Like, we've been celebrating it off and on for like the last 2 weeks, and I plan to celebrate it for another week or so. I'm just getting back by the time this episode releases. Like, I'm just getting back from a cruise that I actually get to disconnect from. But it's just so interesting to see how I'm mentally having to work through and be okay with celebrating myself and allowing others to celebrate me even. And that's what I'm changing. I'm trying to and actively changing the narrative in my head to be okay with celebrating, to be okay with having fun, to be okay with playing and enjoying my life outside of everything else, which leads perfectly into the episode that's going to be coming after this one, all around my new purpose. Because for so long, my purpose was tied to what I was doing, my business, my job, my career, many other things. And for once, it is taking a lot of work and a lot of time. My purpose is not tied to per se exactly what I am doing. It is much more tied to and aligned with who I am and the impact I want to make. So I cannot wait to share with you next episode. So stay tuned for that one in a week. But right now, a lot of what has gotten me to that point is stepping back and slowing down, is creating the space and starting to have fun and celebrate myself. So I am celebrating my birthday full-heartedly this year and having a great time getting to do that with people I love, people I care about, those here in my community, those who are extended family, those who are not close by, and just getting to celebrate. So thank you for being here if you have been. Thank you for listening into the bonus episode, because this was, I thought, important to share and give you like an even further back look at my life of also how I am today, and how also none of this is easy, but it takes a lot of focus. Honestly, just a lot of focus into myself and pushing through the discomfort of allowing people to celebrate me and be excited for me versus me doing that to them. It's the receiving and being okay with the receiving of that love and of that excitement and of that celebration. And if you're anything like me, none of this is going to be easy. None of it's going to happen overnight. It takes time. It takes a mental, we call it mental workout if you really want to, mental workout of working through the discomfort and actually starting to change the way you think, what you believe, and actually how you act. So I leave you with that today. Happy birthday to me. I am celebrating you if you're celebrating a birthday the month of May, especially May babies. We're awesome. But thank you for listening in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always tuning in, and the messages I get, I love. So please shoot me a message if anything resonates here with you. Share with somebody. And last but not least, if you feel called, I would love for you to leave a review or a rating, whether it's Spotify or Apple you're listening on, because that's how we get in front of more people. That's how I can get my story, get some of these tips and tricks, and really start to spread the message and impact that not only I am wanting to do, but other people and my guests that I'm bringing on the show. So I appreciate you. I'm so grateful for you. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't miss our weekly newsletter, The Successful Events Insider. It's the best way to stay connected so you never miss an episode, you hear special announcements, or behind the scenes updates. Each week I take what we cover here on the podcast and I'll dive even a little bit deeper and give you a little bit more behind the scenes of what is going on in my life and the events world. So join us inside the Successful Events Insider. There's a link below in the show notes. Get the support, the strategies, and the inspiration you need to make your next event your best one yet.